Hello everyone, welcome to your full moon pick a card reading. Now this full moon is in Taurus and it's on the 28th or the 29th of October, just depending on where you are in the world. Now this is a full moon eclipse, so expect energies to be amplified. Now for me, I feel that eclipses work best with the full moon energies, as both have that energy of releasing anything or everything that no longer serves us, that is no longer working for us. Because these energies are amplified, it can make this a much more difficult time, especially if we are needing to release a fair bit. Okay, so if we've veered off course a bit, to bring us back into alignment, there's a lot of things that need to change. These eclipses can be challenging. Now, this energy can hit us rather hardly, but do take heart, as what happens at the time of eclipses is always, my friends, for our best interest. When you work with this full moon, embrace the energies of Taurus. These energies will want you to uncomplicate things, to keep things simple, and to bring a sense of security, satisfaction, and comfort back into your life. Taurus energy loves to indulge, especially in what brings pleasure and joy, but it's also a goal-driven energy and strives to bring and to achieve balance between both energies, the one of indulging pleasure, joy, and the one of being driven to achieve our goals. This full moon will have you defining what you value and letting go of what no longer works for you. Expect change with the eclipse, but if you can do this with compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness, watch your life become more harmoniously balanced. Let's get started. Okay, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3, and pole number 4. For pole number 1, we have the black obsidian moon. For pole number 2, we have the aventurine moon. For pole number 3, we have the picture jasper moon. And for pole number 4, we have the amethyst moon. So my friends, take the time to just feel intuitively drawn to a pile. If there's more than one pile that you feel drawn to, select as many piles as you feel called to. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. And just allow your intuition to guide you. And sometimes our intuition guides us to just take a guess. Just jump in and go, I think that one. And I'm sure there'll be a message in there for you. I'll see you in your reading. Hello, pole number 1. Welcome to your full moon reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this full moon. Okay, so it's just gauging with Spirit which way he wants me to put the card. So we're going to leave it like this. So where this is playing out is nothing is yet set in stone. The overall energies is another world and underworld. And the additional messages with the tarot, we've got the 2 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Beautiful energy. I find it really interesting that with these people, you've got the Two of Wands looking at other world, and you've got this Knight of Pentacles kind of looking at the Ace of Wands and this underworld. Let's start with the first overall energy. Actually, do you know, Spirit's just called me to have a look. This is 21 and this is 27. And I feel the 21 is, Spirit's not calling me to really look at them like a numerology or tarot numbers or anything like that. Spirit's saying they're a pair. So the 2 is 1, 2. So both these energies. Other world leads you to a new beginning, and underworld, the 7, leads you to your spiritual, thank you Spirit, thank you, I was just wondering how I was going to say that, to more profound spiritual understanding and what that means to you. Not that what that means to the collective or anything, what that means to you. So this is understanding yourself better. This is coming into alignment. It's aligning with your spiritual beliefs. So, you know, your spiritual beliefs could have you feeling, you know, like I often mention in my readings, we co-create with Spirit. So there's an element of trust and faith. And you may see with this underworld card, when you actually, that's something that you believe in, but maybe you don't apply it in your life. So otherworld leads to new beginnings, and underworld leads to more understanding. Now let's have a look at this otherworld. And I feel like you're coming or going, doesn't really matter, but you're heading through the portal. And I feel, pole number 1, that it's almost like you haven't materialized yet. I know that probably sounds like a really odd thing to say. And I feel that the beginning is upon you, but you're not in it yet. Spirit's slightly correcting me, but it's going to be hard to grasp in our tangible world. So Spirit's saying you're actually in the new beginning, like you're living it now. The new beginning has already started, but you're not fully present in it. Thank you, Spirit. I was gonna initially thinking, how do I say you're not really materialized in it? You know, we are in our physical form, but you're not really present in it yet. So it feels like you're not there yet. But the new beginning has already started. And for a lot of you, I feel that it's because of this underworld card. There's aspects, like I was mentioning earlier, where we're aligning with our spiritual beliefs. We're aligning with our authenticness, with our values. And I feel that you're still working on aspects of this. I feel like you've got, because we can, you know, here you are. You just haven't materialized in it. So there's a sense that you have very deep and profound understandings. But there's an application. The application of them hasn't happened yet. Or you haven't married the two. So there's a sense that you still operate from, in the outer world, from a different perspective, and probably I'm feeling probably from old habits or old ways of doing things. This underworld card will have you going deep, but look at that, there's the light. Look at this light. There's so many lights here guiding you. You're so guided, pole number one. If ever you feel doubtful and lost, you are being so guided. And on a level, you know that. You understand that. Pole number one, I feel like you are probably telling people, you know, we've got to be less afraid because we are guided. But then when it comes to your own experiences, the fear takes over and you lose that trust. And that's just one area that it can be playing out in. For you, it could be completely different, pole number one. Take the message and the example to give you an idea of how this energy is playing out and apply it where you feel it fits in your life. But you're already in the new beginning. This has already started. But there's just a little bit of soul work. Your soul is still guiding you to a little bit more understanding, a little bit more wisdom. And I feel that's why this is playing out in nothing is yet set in stone, the mutable moon. And, you know, we all have our free will, and yet at the same time we've got our path. We've got our free will, but at the same time Spirit guides us. And what is meant for us will come to us, and what is not meant for us will fall away. And what that means sometimes is that we forge ahead and we make plans, and then they fall through at the last minute. That's Spirit realigning us. We need to course correct. And because things happen kind of in the last minute, often it will make us leap at things that present themselves in order, because we feel like, oh my gosh, time's run out, I just have to take what comes now. And that is a way that Spirit brings us what we need without interfering with our will, our freedom to choose. And I feel the more we understand that, thank you, Spirit. Spirit said not understand that. It's more the more we embrace that, the more we are able to live that. Thank you, Spirit. And it is not easy. You know, I certainly don't sit here, pole number one, and think, oh, come on, guys, this is so easy. I channel. And I still don't find this easy. And Spirit just said, you know, pole number one, we can all channel. I've only been channeling for the last year. I didn't even know I could channel. And you might be discovering something like that. You might be discovering something like that you just never even realized. But this future as well, you haven't materialized in it yet. You're not present in it yet. And I feel like because this needs to be done, this is still fluid. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's saying this is still in flux. And you've got the Tarot, and you've got the Two of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. And this is the new beginning that I keep seeing with this other world. You've got the new beginning here, There he is holding on to the wand. There he is holding on to the Ace of Pentacles. And there's this sense of, what do I want now? I feel, pole number one, there's been a lot of lessons learned, and there's been a lot of healing, and there's been a lot of letting go, leaving things in the past, but still acknowledging the wisdom that that taught you. So when you think back at the past, I feel there's a sense of gratefulness. I feel there's a sense of, that was not great, but it taught me so much. So there is gratitude in it. And now you're holding this Ace of Wands, prepared to enter this other world. And I feel like this other world, pole number one, is, I think it's really different from yours. It's different from who you thought you were. It's different from what you thought you wanted. It's different from how you live now, or maybe where you live now, or with whom, or what you do in the now. Other world, it's really different. And I feel there's an element of unexpected here. It's not what you would have expected for yourself, pole number one. And the Two of Wands is you saying, right, the world is my oyster. What do I want for myself? I love the Two of Wands. I love the energy that always comes from the Two of Wands, because I feel like there's a lot of lessons that have been learned. There's a lot of wisdom that has been gained. And there's a lot of confidence in that, to turn around and go, right, what's out there for me now? And this is the dreaming stage. This is visualizing. This is, do I want this or do I want that? What do I want? How much do I want? How big do I want to dream? And you've got the Knight of Pentacles. And this is taking, the Knights are the action card of the court cards. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest. And I like that energy, because it's almost like it's a step up from the page. So you're not right at the very beginning. You've already got ideas. You've already got know-how. You can already take steps. But you're just being mindful. I feel with this Knight of Pentacles in your reading, pole number one, I feel like you're waiting for the cue from Spirit. It's okay. I'm going to trust. I'm not going to bolt forward and try to rush things. I'm going to trust. I'm going to see, okay, Spirit, where do you want me to go with this? You've dreamt it up. And now you've got it in a solid form, like a seed, and you can go out and plant that. And you're waiting for cues. I feel like this is you going, okay, Spirit, let's co-create together. Let's do this. Show me. I'm going to trust. I'm going to believe. And I feel it's this Knight of Pentacles that brings you to this overall energy, the underworld. Because I think this at first is not going to come naturally. You might decide to bolt out the gate, but something stops you. And you know, Spirit just said to me, you might be talking to somebody else and giving them really good advice, and that person might turn around and say, hey, that's really helped me. I think you're going to really help them. Like, you're going to give them information, but they're going to go, oh, that's interesting. But I feel like they're going to turn around and say to you, that's advice that you could take for your situation. Or they're going to be like, but you don't do that. Or they're going to turn it around to you, and I think it creates this. Or you're going to be going, right, I need to organize things, and suddenly you're going to get this little voice in your head that goes, hang on a minute, You're not trusting. And it brings you to this underworld. And I love everything about your reading, pole number 1. Every card talks to the other. Every card flows on from the other, because then you've got your new beginning. Okay, but your new beginning was already there. The Two of Wands is already holding this Ace of Wands. You've yet to materialize. You've yet to be present in it. And this is what it is. The Ace of Wands, the gift from the universe. Confirmation. I feel like this Ace of Wands, this gift for you, pole number 1, from Spirit, the universe, God, your angels, is confirmation. This is right for you. You are on the right path, or whatever it is. Apply that word confirmation wherever it fits in your life. You know, especially if this plays out in trust. You might pause, you might catch yourself and pause, because I do feel like there is an element of trust here. There's an element of you taking what you have learned and gained from your past experiences on a spiritual, this 7 spiritual level, and applying it now in your physical world. And the Pentacles are the tangible world. The Wands is your soul. It's your calling, it's your purpose, it's your drive, it's your passions. You know, you've got a lot of 2s. You've got the 2 here, the 2 here, and the 2 here. And I feel that that just indicates partnership in all the energies. And the 2s are a balanced number. You know, you have 1 on each side, and here you've got 2, you know, 2 on each side. The 1 is the new beginning side, and the other is your spirituality side. Some of you might even be tapping into spiritual gifts that you have. And what Spirit means by that is, you know, I mentioned channeling earlier. Some of you might realize you can channel, or some of you might realize you have healing hands, or some other healing spiritual energy about you. We've all got it, but it just depends whether we tap into it. And some of us we are not meant to in certain lifetimes, you know, where in the lifetime of maybe just more earthly things. But I feel pole number 1 for you, there is something of a spiritual nature here, and that can just be counseling or coaching or teaching, or there's an exchange of knowledge or energy or something like that about your reading. It's beautiful, beautiful energy, and it's a beautiful, beautiful reading. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 1. Love, light, and blessings, my friends. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome to your full moon reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. So where this is playing out is hold your vision. Oh, sorry, that's just the cat that tried to jump on the table and missed. We have the overall energy is, one of the overall energies is independence, and the other is sunset. And then the additional messages with the tarot, we've got the 5 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. Okay, my friends, so let's start with your overall energy. We've got independence. And I'm not seeing this as the typical way we would see independence, pole number 2. It's not the independence where, you know, you forge ahead on your own, you do things your way. It's not that at all. I'm seeing this independence like you have all it takes to move forward. This baby bird has grown and is developed enough to fly. Now, it's not focused on going out and getting your independence as such. It's the focus on you can fly. And Spirit's saying you have all you need to fly. You have all you need to expand and to grow and to change. Spirit's just called me to this 14, and Spirit wants me to look at it like a 1, which is all about new beginnings, and a 4, which is all about security and stability. Now together they become a 5, which is all about change. So the change that is coming your way, or for some of you, pole number 2, the change that you have already gone through is all about new beginnings and bringing you to a place of more stability and more structure in your life and more just solid foundations. So security and stability. But the change is coming in first. And with this card, I'm getting the energy of like, it's almost, I feel, which is an interesting feeling, pole number 2, but I feel like you can see the changes coming. I feel like, you know, it's when you have those words on your tip of your tongue, but you just can't get them out. I feel like that's you. You're on the precipice. You just can't fly off. And that's okay, because I feel like even though you feel like the change is right there, and some of you might feel you're actually in the change, there is a moment of pausing. There is a moment of you haven't taken flight yet. And Spirit's saying that's okay. There's just a bit more information. There's a little bit more insight to come. There's so much light in this card. And I feel like there's so much protection around this little bird. You know, and this tree kind of, to me, almost looks like this massive cliff that goes on. And I feel that even though the bird in this card doesn't look particularly tiny compared to the tree behind it, but I kind of see it in my eyes as this big cliff that if we saw the whole image, this bird would be teeny tiny. It's like we've zoomed in to see the bird. And I feel that you could be feeling quite overwhelmed or quite small at the moment, pole number 2. Almost like, oh my gosh, there's just too much going on. Maybe too much change. Maybe too much that is making you feel less secure in your life or less stable in your life, like there's less stability around you. And change brings that, doesn't it? Change brings a lot of upheaval with it. And your other overall energy is sunset. And I want you to, I'm so drawn, Spirit has drawn me to see how she's just sitting on the edge as well. And this beautiful sunset, this 7, now this 7 is a spiritual number, it's a spiritual journey number. But in this card, the messages I'm getting is this, we have been working a 7 year in 2023. And so 2023, I feel like this is the culmination of 2023, or this is what 2023 has been all about for you, pole number 2. So you could have been new beginnings, just starting to get a bit of stability, and then bam, there's been a change, and then you're feeling like, oh my gosh. Or it could just be that you haven't really had stability. Maybe you feel like you've been in free fall for this whole year, and you haven't been able to kind of grasp anything, and it's almost like there's this ledge that you've come to, and you're kind of like, I'm just gonna okay, that's it, I'm catching my breath here for a bit. Spirit saying, who do you think put that ledge there? But it's a pause. You can't stay there forever. Now, the difference between this person and the little bird is, I feel this person, mind you, the little bird has perspective. This is what I'm saying, you can see the things that are changing, that you're not quite in it yet. It's almost like she's closer to it. You know, she's kind of right on the level of these waves coming in and out, the tide coming in and out. And I feel that this is the energy. This is kind of looking at it from above and not really participating in it, kind of looking at it going, yeah, I'm not going down there. This is actually going down there and going, okay, then in all this change, things going, new beginnings coming in, what do I want? Or what is that showing me? Because it's like allowing the tide to take out the things that no longer serve you, but also allowing the tide to take out steps that you've taken. See what comes back. And the tide will bring things in for you. You get to have a look at that. What resonates, what doesn't, what feels right, what doesn't. And I feel that 2023 has probably been a lot of this, and then probably a lot of like, oh gosh, this is freaking me out, and you take a step back, and then maybe something interesting comes in and it makes you take a step towards it. But Spirit is still saying there are still things to hold on to. There's still ideas. There's still downloads to happen. There's still guidance that's coming. So this is not a time to rush. Now this is playing out with the fixed moon. Hold your vision. That's all that you need to do at this time. This is a full moon. Full moons are all about releasing and letting go and making peace with that, with gratitude and forgiveness. And I feel that's why this is first, and then this is your second overall energy, because I feel like this is the allowing for things to come and go as they need to. All you need to do is, there's a vision in you, there's a goal in you, which throughout all this hasn't waned. It hasn't wavered. Thank you, Spirit. And that's kind of keeping you all through this change and indecision and worry. It's kind of helped you keep your sense of direction. It's like it's held you, you know, keep your compass kind of thing, and keep your true north. And there's almost, you know, Spirit saying to me, hold your vision. If you can concentrate on that, not in a fixated, controlling kind of way, but then every time you kind of get a bit wobbly here, or a little bit like, oh my gosh, if you go back to your vision, it will help you have a feeling of groundedness, because none of these places feel really ground. It's a resting place, yes, absolutely. You know, you'd rather be here than in the water, coming in and out. And you'd rather be here than free falling. But Spirit is saying there is another free fall, there is another leap of faith that's to come. And this is the work that is required, I feel, with the tarot. And things have, like, there has been change, definitely. There's been a lot of going out and new things coming in, but I feel like you either haven't been able to grasp them or they've kind of disappeared before you could. So you feel like, oh, and then it's kind of gone. Spirit's saying it's not that you did anything to stop those things from coming in for you. You know, sometimes we feel like, oh, I missed my chance. But sometimes that chance coming in, or that option coming in, wasn't really for you to have that. It was for you, it was to give you a bit of encouragement. It was to give you that little bit of a oomph, that little bit of a drive. Maybe it was to get you off the ledge and back here. You know, so it was to guide you in an aspect. But there is a sense that there's still pole number 2, things that you're holding on to. And I feel that you're probably going to go, oh, not again. And there's a little bit of like discouragement because it feels like I've been working on this forever. Or you feel like, how much work do I have to give this? I feel like I've healed it. I feel like I've let this go. And then, you know, things happen in my life and take me right back to where I was. Spirit's saying with this 8 of Wands, it's not at all taking you back. It's moving you forward. But you won't feel like that. Now, another 5. And right next to the 5 of Independence. This 5 of Cups, I feel, is the how can I say that, Spirit? I was going to say it's the thing that holds you back, but I kind of get the feeling that's not quite right. It's the, thank you, Spirit. Spirit just said it's the thing that keeps bringing you back to this ledge, and then you've got to kind of free fall. You've got to kind of take that leap of faith that brings you back here, but then there's something still attached to your path. There's still an attachment to your past, and you kind of end up here again, and then you've got to take that whole leap of faith. So you feel like you've been taking so many leaps of faith. You've been trying to trust, you've been trying to get yourself out of your comfort zone, all that kind of energy, and then you feel like it hasn't come to anything. And I wonder if some of you are feeling discouraged, and that's why Spirit's saying hold your vision. Now, Spirit just said to me, we are at our most discouraged just before we move forward, just before the door opens. I don't think that, I'm wondering if this full moon is going to shed some clarity on this. I'm wondering if this full moon, you know, it's in Taurus. Taurus is an earth fixed sign. So if there's a sign that is stable and grounded and secure, it's Taurus. I mean, those are the words we attach to Taurus energy. And, you know, this full moon is an eclipse. And eclipses make you let go of what no longer serves you. So I feel this card is right at the beginning of the tarot message, because I feel this is what happened. I feel this gets blasted away, and I feel by this Eight of Wands right at this full moon, pole number 2. The Wands is this fast moving energy. And the Wands is your passion, it's your drive, it's your soul calling, your purpose, it's your soul's journey. This is your vision. And pole number 2, I feel like at this full moon, you're just not going to be able to ignore this. I feel like it just hits you like a light bulb. I feel like that clarity that often comes with a full moon, coupled with this final letting go, really just makes you, I'm just getting the word pow. I know that sounds a little bit odd, but I just keep seeing the word pow. It kind of packs a punch, and you kind of think to yourself, how did I not see this before? Because I feel without this Eight of Wands, I feel like these two energies, I feel like that one is here where you're on the ledge going, oh my gosh, yeah, that's no more. I don't know how to get to that. Because, you know, we often say with the Five of Cups, just turn around. Okay, when we're looking at the card like this, that's easy. But in the scheme of our life and everything in the tangible world, which way is around? You know, we can't see that with the cloak. So it's unhelpful, even though we do say that, I say that, it's unhelpful. But this energy keeps bringing you back to the ledge. And this energy has you sitting going, but see, these are my 3 cups. And the 3 of Cups is the card of joy and celebration and, you know, soul families and, you know, celebrating with others. And here it's like, I want to resurrect those cups of the past. And Spirit's going, here you go. Here's the Ace of Cups. Make a new journey that is more befitting to who you are now. And when you realize, I can't do that, you go back to they're spilt and lost. And these two energies mirror each other quite incredibly. The tide comes in and brings things in and out, but if we're too focused on our path, we won't see it. But with this 4 of Cups, pole number 2, Spirit saying, you do see it because of this 8 of Wands. You're going to follow your calling and you're going to hold your vision. And you will see this Ace of Cups that brings you to this new beginning and to the stability. And I feel that it's going to be this year, pole number 2. I feel like you might have to wait till the end of the year, but between this full moon and the end of the year, Spirit just said to me, the full moon in December or the full moon in January, just depending on your individual timelines, there'll be stability. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, pole number 2. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome to your full moon reading. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you. So where this is playing out, we have meditate and contemplate. Your first overall energy is unknown. And your following energy is choice. Oh, pole number 3. Oh, we've all been here, haven't we? Oh, my beautiful, beautiful friends. We have death, the 5 of Wands, and the Emperor. Oh, beautiful. Look at this. Look at this major arcana in the middle of minor arcana. This is spirit co-creating with you, pole number 3. And look, at spirit's got you on both sides. Okay, so you're fully supported, my friends, and don't ever doubt that. And here, oh boy, do we doubt that, don't we? It's actually very funny because just this morning I was chatting with a friend, and I was talking to her about the image. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's on David G's. He's a meditation. He does meditations. A beautiful, beautiful soul. His meditations are just gorgeous. His voice is amazing. And he posted an image on his Instagram back in, I think it was, well, I looked at it this morning, so it was February 2022. And I was here. The day I saw it, I had leapt. So I was literally in midair, and I saw that image and just cried my heart out, because it's a hand. It's so sorry, I haven't, thank you, Spirits just said to me, you haven't told them about the image. So the image is the hand of the universe, or the hand of God, behind somebody standing on a cliff and flicking them off, and then the hand at the bottom of the cliff ready to catch them. And it had this thing pointed to this person kind of in midair saying you, and then the universe and the universe. And really, if you're on Instagram, go and have a look at that David G's Instagram account. I don't know, I'm sure if you just put David G in Instagram, you'll find it. And you have to scroll back because it's February 2022, but it is awesome. You're here. And I don't, thank you, Spirit. I was going to say I don't think you've leapt yet. Spirit's saying you haven't. Okay. You haven't leapt yet. This is literally you. And the reason why this is you is because this is you. You have choices. And I kind of get the feeling that those choices lead you away from the direction you saw your life going in, or where you wanted to be. You know, pole number 3, I'm really seeing my journey here. This is not my reading, this is your reading. And the leap that I had to take in early 2022, and it was the very day, it's the 20th of February that David G's post came out, because that was the very day that I leapt. And it was the most difficult choice. I had 3 choices. The one I couldn't do was the one that was most aligned with where I wanted to be. The other 2 took me away from that quite literally. And I feel that Spirit has brought me back to that. And I wouldn't have thought of that if I hadn't discussed this with my friend this morning. But it's like that's where you are. Now, there is a choice that you want, and I feel you can't do it. And that could be because you don't have the finance. It can be because it involves somebody else. So it might be like wanting to stay in your current relationship, but the person has left, or something like that. But it is something outside of you that you're unable to do that. Okay, so finances is a big one, you know, not being able to stay where you are because you can no longer afford your rental or whatever it is. But finances, people leaving, there's, you know, it's kind of like you've got three choices, but one of them you physically can't do. Okay, and I believe that's the one you probably want the most. Now, Spirit's saying to me, there's going to be a bunny hop. And pole number 3, that was my journey as well. So I really feel that I hope you don't mind me talking about my journey in your reading, because I'm just very aware when Spirit asks me to share, especially when the experiences are like mine, especially to this level, I get concerned that you're going to feel like it's not your reading, or that, I don't know. But the Spirit's asking me to share and to show. So basically what happened with me is I had one choice that I couldn't do. For me, it was due to finances and another circumstance as well, but I won't go into it. So one took me not too far away from where I wanted to be, and one took me literally to the other side of the world. So what did I do? I went to the closest, and then a month later I went to the furthest. So Spirit's saying there's going to be a bunny hop. Okay, you're going to free fall till about here. Spirit will catch you. And then that's almost going to be a resting place. That's going to be maybe a place that shows you just how much the recent events in your life have affected you. So it can be like a point where some of you will break, and that will create massive amounts of healing. For others of you, I feel that it will be a point where understanding is reached. It's like, I get it. And then you jump again to where you're supposed to be. There is, I'm going to say what I was going to say because Spirit said say it anyway. So I was going to say there is an incredible amount of letting go when you're in this space, pole number 3. There's an incredible amount of just kind of throwing your arms up in the air and going, I've just got to trust. And what Spirit wanted to say was don't doubt, trust. And I think Spirit's, because sometimes Spirit, I try not to put my own mind into the readings. I try to follow what Spirit does, and Spirit's very quick to show me, like, or to say, no, not that, if I'm taking over the reading. But in this instance, I feel that Spirit really is allowing me that because it's human, and we're human. And so it's not easy, pole number 3. And it's easy for me. I'm still kind of free falling. But I've learned so much. and I'm so much more able to trust now. And if I had to go back and do it all again, okay, there's the human part of me that goes, oh my gosh, no way. But I would, and I wouldn't change it, even though I have insight now and I could have saved myself the trouble from doing this little bunny hop. I feel like that was necessary. I feel like every stage was necessary in order for me to get to where I am now. And my friends, I'm still free falling. I haven't found my place. I haven't found the stability. I've got some stability, like I'm not so worried about it anymore, but you know, I haven't found my place. I haven't landed yet. And I was going to say we've got to try not to be afraid of that. We are afraid of that. That's our human aspect of ourselves. But I feel that as you go, the easier it would be. And if there's something that I could tell my old self, would be to worry less, to not worry so much. And I feel pole number 3, you're going to want to do the same. And when you look back, when I look back at me here, I just want to give myself the biggest hug. And I love that me, because that me took that leap as best. You know, okay, there was a bunny hop, so what? You know, but she got me to who and where I am now. And that's magic. And so there you will get to that pole number 3. Now you've got meditate and contemplate. And I feel like the more you can slow yourself down, the more you can go within, because this journey really asks us to really look at ourselves. And we do that by meditating. Now, as Spirit's just brought back to me, me mentioning David G. Now, there's another reason why I'm mentioning him. So I do his meditations on an app called Inside Timer. And I'm not affiliated. I don't really understand much about that anyway. But I like to mention things, especially in this reading, where I feel like all our experiences are different, pole number 3, but I feel so much compassion because I feel like I know what you're going through. Have a look at his meditations. Even if you don't like meditating, try. Even if you start once a week, just set a bit of time, but it is going to help you. It took me a while to get into meditating, but I must admit it really helped. I must admit that in the first sleep, I didn't really do much meditating. I did a lot beforehand, and then I kind of stopped. But then I kind of went back into it. I kind of go into it and then I stop, and I go into it and then I stop. So there's absolutely no judgment there, because I must admit I'm not that regular in my practice, but you've got the card, and I feel that will be really beneficial for you, pole number 3. And then we've got the tarot, and the tarot pretty much just covers what I said with these cards. So this death card, I feel, is when you jump. There's just no going back. Okay, so once you jump, you know, you can't backpedal and come back onto the ledge or the cliff where you were before. So it is a very final ending. And deep down inside of you, pole number 3, I know that you know that. There's disappointment attached to it because I feel like you really are moving away from something that you really wanted. This is almost like you almost got to achieve a dream, or you did, and then it got taken away from you. So there's a lot of loss with this card. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of regret and disappointment. And I feel, but this is the major arcana, so Spirit's going to flick you off the ledge. And when I say Spirit's going to flick you off the ledge, Spirit said explain that. So the way that happens is by putting us in a situation where somebody leaves us, so we've got no control, we can't make them come back, or like I said, you know, with finances, or whatever, it could be so many different things. I can only think of those two, but Spirit said apply it to how it fits in your life. But Spirit's guiding you to this. Spirit's going to instigate this. Thank you, Spirit. That's a brilliant word, instigate. This is you. And I feel this Five of Wands. I think this is internal battle. There's so much internal turmoil. And there's so much like, no, I'll find another way. I'll figure something out. I can make this happen. And I feel it's in this space that you do that little hop. There's the idea of, okay, I don't have to go that far from it. There's another little glimmer of hope. There's a little something. And I feel like you're going to fight quite hard for it. I feel like you're going to, I just get the feeling, pole number 3, that you're fighting yourself, you're fighting the universe, you're fighting Spirit. You know, you're kind of going, no. And yeah, I remember what that feels like. That's why I'm laughing, because it's not laughing at you, pole number 3. It's such a difficult place, but hindsight is such a beautiful thing. And I feel this energy continues in that hop. So you're going to realize almost the minute you hop that, oh, this is not going to work either. And you're like, what? And this is what this is all about. It's the energy of the Emperor. It's the Aries energy, I am. And who are you? What do you want? And it's not looking at the past. It's discovering that with fresh eyes. And you can't ask yourself, what do I want, before you understand who you are. And I feel, pole number 3, this is going to be a massive journey of self-discovery. And there's going to be so much to discover that you just wouldn't even have contemplated. And this is where Spirit's guiding you. This is the energy that you are moving towards. With this energy of the Emperor, you know exactly what you want. It's not about knowing how to go out and get it. In fact, the more secure you become, the more knowing of yourself you become and your values and your beliefs, how it's all going to happen actually loses a lot of power. You expect the best in this energy, but you don't expect anything to happen a certain way or to be a certain way. And there's liberation and freedom here, my friends. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 3. Love, light and blessings, my friends. And a little extra dose for you. Okay, because this is not easy. So an extra dose of love, light and blessings to you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Welcome to your monthly reading. I'm so sorry. Pole number 4. Welcome to your full moon reading. I don't know why I said month there. I don't know. Maybe the energies go out for the whole. Well, this is the end of October, so maybe the energies follow through into November. That'll be interesting to see. So this is the full moon reading, my friends. So this is playing out in a fiery climax approaches. The first overall energy is return, and the second energy is beyond fear. And then with the tarot, we've got the Star, the Knight of Swords, and the 7 of Cups. Okay, my friends, let's have a look. Now, do you know, you've got the full moon in Aries, and I said welcome to your monthly reading. So I'm wondering if you look back to what happened, because the full moon in Aries was last month, okay, was in September. Okay, so there's a message here of maybe look at what happened in for the month of October, so since the end of September to now. I think there's messages in there that might help you seek clarity, and I'm getting that as well with this return. It's almost like look back. There's a sense here of go over, re-look at something, rehash something, return to something. But I'm not getting it with this light in this card here. I'm not getting it that you're physically returning to something. I'm getting that you're kind of like mentally, emotionally, you're revisiting something. And I feel like, and you know, sometimes we say, you know, the past is done and dusted. We can't keep going back to it. But I think this has, with this Star here, I think this has a really healing energy associated with it. So there is understanding and there's a level of clarity. And I feel that the reason being is the energy that we're getting from your other overall card, Beyond Fear. Okay, Spirit's asking me to. And look at the light in these cards. There's something in the past, pole number 4, that I feel you made a choice out of fear. And this 36 is a 9. It brought an ending. And Spirit just said, first of all, I thought I was just going to, Spirit was just saying, look at the 9. But then Spirit said, look at the 3 and the 6. And the 3 is joy and celebration. It is, also it can be like, you know, friends and things like that. And the 6 is our family. It's our home life. So I think you made a decision somewhere in those areas that brought a 9, an ending. Or thank you, Spirit. Spirit saying, sorry, the decision came after. So there was somewhere in your friendships or in your home life or something that you, with the 3, that you probably loved dearly or that brought you a lot of joy. I feel like there was like an abrupt ending of some sort in that area. So our home life, you know, our comfort zone. And there was a reaction to that. There was a fearful reaction to that. So then you made a choice based in fear. And now Spirit's asking you to revisit that. There is something to gain. There is, and generally what's to gain is understanding of the situation, compassion and forgiveness of the situation, person, whatever it is. But there's also wisdom. There's also a level of understanding. And Spirit's saying to me, the return card is first, because when you look at this now, you'll be beyond fear. But at the time, you couldn't. You couldn't. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's saying you couldn't gain the perspective to not react with fear. So when you look back, you'll be like, why did I do that? And it'll be so clear that you're going to kind of want to kick yourself, pole number 4. I kind of feel that that's the energy. You're going to be really annoyed with yourself. And Spirit's saying, no, you have better perspective now. So when you go back and look at this thing, you'll see it differently because you're beyond the fear. There is a level of self-compassion and kindness that is required in your reading, pole number 4. That's really important, and that's coming through quite strongly. Okay, so if you kick yourself and you think, oh, what an idiot, why did I do that? And boy, we've all done that, haven't we? And probably once too often. If you cannot do that and just see the compassion, I feel like there's this aha moment that makes you realize, wow, I've come so far. I've changed so much. And that's the message. You will see how different you are. So different. And Spirit's just called me to the 1 and 7. The 1 being new beginnings, the 7 being our spiritual number, the 8 being our personal power number. The 7 is also the numerology year that we have been working in 2023. So I feel this is probably something that happened at the end of 2022 or quite early in 2023. Okay, and it's asking you to revisit it. But it created quite a big ending. And the new beginning, I feel like the new beginning hasn't happened yet. The new beginning is coming now. The new beginning comes with this, I just got the words new reality. And Spirit said it's the new reality of you. It's your new understanding. It's all about your light. So that's all about the authentic you, the true you, the spiritual you. It encompasses our body and our mind as well, but it's not being, when it's, the energy I'm seeing is you're no longer being governed by your mind or by your body. You're actually being governed by your soul. And when I say governed, guided. Thank you, Spirit. I knew Spirit would bring me a better word. You're being guided by your soul. And I feel this fiery climax is this, oh my gosh, how could I not see that before? How could I not see that? And you didn't have the perspective. You've gone beyond the fear now. You've worked through your fears, or the situation is in the past, so it no longer has power over you. And I think you're understanding that, pole number 4. And there's this sense of you've gone beyond the fear, so now you can see things for what they really are. And it's almost like this, this awareness, this insight hits you right, right between the eyes. You're just like, oh my God. And, there could be some anger, in you. And that's what I'm saying. Please don't beat yourself up about it. But there could be like, oh my gosh, if I could have seen this back then, I could have saved myself so much trouble. Spirit just said to me, if you feel the anger, feel it. Don't act on it though, but feel it and go, yeah, I'm angry because I wish. And then realize, well, allow then the compassion to come in and to soothe that rawness in you, because it will. And it will make you, it will also, thank you Spirit, it will also help you to see how even in the fear, you did the best you could. And there's going to be so much love and compassion and forgiveness for your old self, because you're just going to realize that, do you know what? That me before this hindsight, before this change of perspective, did the very best it could. So how can I judge it now because I've got better perspective? And that brings you to the star. Now this is a major arcana, so this is how Spirit co-creates with us. And there's an element here, pole number 4, of so much healing. So much healing, so much clarity, understanding. And it really aligns you with you. And I'm seeing this star as like your North Star. It's like your true north, where you're heading in this lifetime, the journey for you in this lifetime. And you'll see things more clearly, you'll feel things more clearly, because you are just aligned. Working through whatever this was in your life, going back to it and looking at it again with basically, essentially, what is a fresh pair of eyes. With the healing power of, time that has passed, and with additional, again, of, better perspective. There's so much healing. And I feel like pole number 4, you're back again in the spotlight of yourself. So you're back to nurturing yourself, loving yourself, appreciating yourself. Creates a lot of inner healing, but it also creates a lot of self-love, self-appreciation, confidence. And this is you shining your light, pole number 4, for all to see. And when that happens, watch out. Because I feel life takes off in a way quite spectacularly for you. Now, Spirit's also saying the Knight of Swords comes with a little warning as well, my friends. And that's, don't put your armor back on. Don't race ahead and miss things. And don't get caught up in your mind. if you find yourself making yourself busy, slow down and look why. Okay, so sometimes when we do that, we fall back into fear, so we make ourselves super busy, so then we don't have to look at what we need to change in our life or what we need to do in our life. So we kind of run around doing everything but the thing we need to do. And that's generally because we've gotten stuck in our mind, and it's gotten hold of us, and that can be our fears and our insecurities. And there is this sense here, you know, from coming from this being authentically you know, there's, I mean, being naked to this armor, that's like building your walls back up, putting your masks back on. So there's a sense that Spirit is calling you with this Knight of Swords, pole number 4, to not do that, to be really mindful of, and we're human, so we do put it on, take them off and put them on, just depending where we find ourselves and in what situations. But I feel like you're going to have the clarity to actually see this, but you'll need to pause a moment and go, oh, look at me, I've gotten straight back into how my old ways. I'm gonna rectify that. Now that was the little warning with the Knight of Swords, but the Knight of Swords, I'm also seeing it as when you shine your life, boy, life is going to get busy. Not the busy where you run around like a chook without a head, but the busy where you've got choices and you've got options and there's potential all around you, and suddenly you see it all. And that's the Seven of Cups. When we are clear, when we're no longer sort of 1 foot in the past, 1 foot in the present, when we're no longer wishing and hoping that things could go back to the way they were, when we're healed, our hurts, our losses, suddenly it looks like we've got so much options in life. And we kind of literally feel like, where did all these come from? And Spirit's saying to me, they're always there. But, you know, with your helmet on and the visor down, how do you see them? And traveling this fast, how do you see them? I almost see this star. You can't sift water, but I kind of see her, you know, pouring the water out, and just, you know, at one stage there'll be something will be shown, you know, and she's being quite patient and methodical. And I feel that's this energy that is required with this Seven of Cups, because there's a lot of opportunity for fulfillment here, because the Cups is fulfillment. The Cups is our emotions and our feelings, and it's also, you know, our heart, following our heart. It's also love. And here I feel like it's almost like, here's a bunch of options. What do you want? And it's kind of, Spirit just drew me back down to this card, and it's for the word beyond. It's kind of like looking beyond those options, these opportunities, and seeing your North Star, where you want to travel. And it's kind of then looking at these options going, which one is aligned with that? And I think you might be surprised with what it might be, pole number 4, because I feel like there's this, you know, like you got a dragon and you've got jewels, and then you've got this kind of half hidden figure which looks maybe like a religious figure with their hands out, and then you've got this snake. So there's a lot of like, oh, okay, that's interesting, what's that all about? So I feel like there's a sense of moving forward, but expecting the best. I said this to pole number 3, expecting the best for yourself, but not expecting things to happen in any particular order, or not expecting that to be exactly as you planned. So allowing whatever to come in, whatever wants to come in, and just expecting the best from that, not exactly what you want to come in. Because I feel like you're going to be surprised, pole number 4. I feel like there's an element here of surprise, an element of, oh, no way would I have picked that for myself, but this could be really good. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light and blessings, pole number 4. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.